Okay, so guys, Booksmart. Olivia Wilde directed it. How was that for you guys?
Heaven on earth.
Yeah?
She's truly an angel sent from above.
She's an alien. She's like
alien.
Perfect.
No, I don't know how she like sleeps. She's a mom of two
Babies,
like
2 and 5.
babies, and she directed this movie while
An
doing night
activist.
shoots. She just is so smart. I look up to her in so many ways. She's incredible.
That could be an eighth of what she is. And you're like, great.
Yeah.
And was it difficult for you guys? I mean, like, Olivia Wilde is Olivia Wilde.
Oh my
So-
god. Well, I think we were, honestly, the first time I met Olivia was at her, I went and saw 1984. She was doing 1984 when she had gotten she came on to direct Booksmart.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, because I was attached, I had read the script like 4 years prior to us making it. And I went and met her, and I remember going backstage, and I was so nervous. My heart was beating so fast. I was with my sister. I was like, I was so stupid. What did I say? I felt like I said something. I was so dumb. And I was like, okay. And she was literally the sweetest person on earth, and made me feel so welcome. And literally, that's how she was on set, and every day of her life, she's just the best.
She's such a warm and inclusive person that even if I was of course intimidated to meet her, but then she quickly like dissolves that fear or anxiety. She's just like so cool, she's just like dope. Like there's no other way to put it. Like she's so cool but also warm and the best.
And was it nice to have a woman behind the camera?
It really was. It's always so awesome to see a woman leading the charge. It's really cool. I remember feeling that way like pretty much every day on set, just looking around and watching her take charge. And in such a sweet way that wasn't like, she went about it with kindness, and I think that that's always the best situation, especially when you're making a film like this, where it's such a collaborative experience, and there's a lot of like newcomers, and I think it's just like, it's so cool to see her.
Both of us have been lucky to work with a lot of female directors.
Yeah.
Like, Kaitlyn worked with Lynn Shelton and Catherine Bigelow, and I obviously was in Lady Bird with Greta Gerwig, and just to be a part of watching another woman like add to that list of like incredible female directors with such singular vision. It's like there's no bigger honor as an actor than to get to be a part of stories that are so meaningful to you, but then to know that they're also going to launch a young female talent as a director is like so special and definitely means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. And what made you guys initially want to audition for these roles?
For both of us, I think it was a pretty big moment. Had you ever been offered something before and just gotten hired on?
No.
Yeah, because I think
this
was our first lead in a film, and also technically the first time I was offered a movie this big and a lead role, not having to audition for it, which is like pretty rare and pretty huge, honestly, because it's so cool when someone finally goes, oh no, I know your work, and I think you'd be great for this.
It's also really nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking too, because you haven't really like worked.
Alice and Janney. I love quoting Alice and Janney today.
Yeah.
Alice and Janney.
Pulling all these quotes.
I just love her. She always says, I'd rather, she's one of the most established, celebrated, decorated actors. And she's like, I'd always rather audition. Offering makes me nervous.
Oh no, auditioning scares me though. But yeah, I read the script 4 years ago, and it was just sent to me as just like a read for interest. And then Anna Prona was like so kind and said they wanted me to play Amy. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so exciting. And then 2 years later, Olivia came on and she was attached to direct, and she brought on Katie Silverman. And that was just like, oh gosh, this movie's finally happening. I'm so happy. And then Beanie came on.
Last.
And then for you guys, you're obviously Amy and Molly's relationship is so big in this film, and it's really an important key. How is it for you guys to establish that relationship and have a relationship off screen as well?
Yeah, we knew that was the key. Like, I knew that Kaitlyn would be such a remarkable Amy because I'm the biggest fan of hers. I'm like her #1 fan. Wish I had a T-shirt. I'm gonna make one. Kaitlyn Bieber's #1.
Do you know Beanie actually got me? Well, you got one too. You got us matching T-shirts that said when we first started said "strong female lead."
Yeah, have you ever seen those T-shirts? They're
Yes.
really cute.
Oh my God, that's
I got
so
them for
cute.
Kaitlyn for her first day.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
But we knew that, like, okay, even if I was, understanding Molly and Kaitlyn was understanding Amy, it's really more about their dynamic and the dynamic between them. And I mean, you have to have two fleshed out individual people, but the movie lives or dies on that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to fake chemistry. That's like such a tricky thing about being an actor is like, it's all about the space between two people, really, specifically in this film. And so we decided to live together. And we lived together through the entire prep and rehearsals and shooting of the film. Just because we wanted to replicate or try to replicate how much time they've spent together.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're shooting a film and it's away from Los Angeles or New York, everyone's like away together because most people don't live in Alabama or Atlanta or wherever you're filming. So we were talking about this the first time Kaitlyn and I had ever met, and we were like, I wish there was a way for us to like replicate how much time you spend together when you're away, even though we were shooting the film in LA. And so we decided to live together because that was like the closest solution we could come up with, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
That could have gone horribly wrong.
I know. Well, I was thinking
Gloria.
about it. Within like 15 minutes of our first lunch, we had agreed to living together for 2 months. I'm like, are we insane?
Yeah, are we nuts?
We just realized that today. We're like, oh no, that's the first time we had lunch together.
Yeah.
And we agreed to just.
Well, it's almost like you guys were randos for college, like how people
Yeah.
get their random roommates for college, and it just really worked out for you two.
Yeah.
I had the same experience in college, so maybe I was glass half full on that.
Yeah.
Beanie was my first roommate in life.
In real life.
In life, yeah.
You couldn't have asked for a better roommate than
I know. I know.
And when my shirt's gonna say
Beanie
Kaitlyn Bieber's
Feldstein
#1 fan, and then
Kaitlyn.
my badge is gonna say I'm her first roommate.
You're sure it's gonna have so much writing on it. I know.
I'm making it.
For you guys, this high school experience and stuff. So, what did you bring to the table for your characters from your own high school experiences?
I think mainly I just really relate to this is more of just not necessarily high school, but just being young in general. I think that there are a lot of anxieties and fears that come with being young, and I really related to that with my character Amy. I think that she is, while she's like very, very kind and compassionate, and she has so much love for school and so much love for Molly, there are times when when you're young, you don't feel super courageous, and you sort of need that best friend to push you along. And I've really related to that and that aspect of it, and their relationship as well.
Yeah. I think, my intense friendship, I'm still best friends with my friends from high school, so as far as like my own personal love and validation of that friendship, like those people are still my best friends, so I was so proud and excited to be a part of telling that story. But I think the thing that I related to most with Molly was she digs her heels in. She's a stubborn human being. And I feel like to think I loosened up a little bit as I've gotten older. I've loosened up, but I definitely have that quality of like, if I say something, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna dig my heels in. I'm gonna like not flinch, not show an ounce of weakness. I'm sensitive, but I can also be very tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really played anyone tough, and I have that side of me, so that was exciting to bring to the table. But as far as like who I was in high school, I would have been with the theater kids, not making fun of the theater kids, so I didn't know how to make fun of them. That felt like very foreign to me.
And then for you guys, Billie Lourd plays Gigi, and she has some of the most hilarious scenes in the film.
I just have to say, it's Billie Lourd's world and we're just all living in it.
Never been said that. After the table read of Booksmart, I turned to Kaitlyn and I said, Billie Lourd in this role is iconic.
Yeah.
First thing I said after we finished, I was like, huge first table read. I was like, and
exactly.
most important thing to
Exactly
say is Billie Lourd's performance in this film is going to be iconic.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, how did you keep, especially your character, how did you keep a straight face throughout the entire?
No, I think it was 4 in the morning. I sort of just like let loose and just let Billie take the reins in our scenes. She just really just killed every single
player.
She would just like, Olivia would ask Billie to like hang out so that Billie could be added into little like moments in the movie, and she was just so down and ready and really open and so fun. There's never a moment where you see Billie Lourd like complaining about anything. She's just always making a joke out of life, and I really look up to her. Even though we're like basically the same age, I find her very inspiring.
And then music plays a big part of this film, especially in certain scenes. And I know for you and your sister, you play a lot of music.
Yes.
So I was gonna ask. I was like, because I couldn't figure out. Did you and your sister have some music in the movie?
No, I did play the auto harp though.
Okay.
Which is a little like random instrument that I love that like artists like June Carter played in. I don't know. I think it's like a really silly instrument to like look at, and people don't really know what it is. So I thought Amy, because I felt like Amy's music taste, was like a lot of Joni Mitchell and June Carter and Helen Reddy. I felt like, she should just play the auto harp, and Olivia let me.
But they did open for Cautious Clay. We did this Booksmart gathering in Austin, and Kaitlyn and her sister opened for Cautious Clay.
That was like that was crazy. When Liv asked me to do that, I'm like, are you sure?
I was sitting in the back just weeping, like sobbing.
Oh my god. Oh, that was so cool.
I fully cried. That's like not exaggeration.
She told me she cried, and I believed her.
Jessica Elbaum saw me. You can ask her.
Oh,
I was like, just leaking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Well, you are the #1 fan.
I'm the #1.
I am.
So
Look at my button.
The tear is dripping off the lettering. I see it in my mouth.
You're gonna do it on Etsy.
Yes.
So perfect. And for you, for the music, what was did you take any inspiration? Like, did you listen to anything before you did scenes?
Well, Molly, as originally written, it did shape and grow a little bit, but
oh wow, I totally forgot about this.
yeah. It didn't end up making it in the film, but we had a whole sequence where I was rapping. It was the very beginning of the film. It's like right before Kaitlyn picks me up for school. There's footage somewhere of me rapping Hendrik, just like in a towel with my hair up, like, pray my dick as big as the Eiffel Tower kind of stuff. The idea that Molly was like super intense, so she listened to like super intense hip hop. But then also it's like the secret love of musicals that obviously comes out in a later sequence in the film. But yeah, we had this playlist that Kaitlyn made. Kaitlyn's like the music aficionado. When I think of Booksmart, I think of the Casey Musgraves album because Kaitlyn and I listened to it non-stop in our apartment.
We need to meet her. I want to meet
My
her so bad because she was such a huge part in our bonding.
Any
moments.
song on that album, and I'm with you in my head, like literally any song.
Yeah, it's true. We would listen to it in the car. That summer was defined by that album. Truly.
And then, what do you guys want fans to take away from this film?
Call your best friend.
Call your best friend.
Yeah. If you're still attached, then yay. And if you're not, give them a call. Like, they want to hear from you. And
go see it with your best friend.
Yeah. I think the movie, in such a fun, easy, relaxed way, it's never hitting you over the head with it, but it really kind of asks you to look at people more clearly with more thought and to see the multidimensionality in people that you might have misjudged or stereotyped in some way. And I love that. I love that there's like there's a true ethos to the film in addition to so much like fun and comedy.